My name is Hank Bethel. I'm a computer engineer here at Bucknell University. I'm a senior and a member of the men's lacrosse team. Every year, the seniors in the engineering school are required to do a capstone project where we are assigned a client, and each client has a different project. So my project this year is working with Kyndryl, a spin-off company of IBM, and we have been tasked to create a trade show model of an energy site with an edge computing system implemented into it. Edge computing is another type of solution for cloud computing. So instead of doing all your hard computing on cloud servers that you have to rent out and that you have to lay cables for and get out to remote sites, you do all your processing on site and then use the cloud for other services such as storing data, or you can use it to monitor data, but you don't have to do any of the computation away from the site. So the benefits to this are you aren't reliant on a stable connection. You don't need a lot of bandwidth. You don't have to have a lot of physical infrastructure at your remote site to send all this data from the site to the warehouse. So this project, there is a machine learning aspect to it. So what we have set up right now is a color camera, and it just does basic image detection to make sure all the infrastructure is correct, and after this we'll scale it up larger. So we're working on implementing an IR camera that'll recognize heat patterns and a vibration sensor that'll recognize differences in vibration signals that we send it. Basically just modeling, hey, this is what it's supposed to look like, this is what's happening, so it'll trigger some event. Because we have 2 semesters to work on this, we can't actually use full industrial type computers and stuff. So there's things like PLCs that we couldn't get a hold of, or we wouldn't be able to learn how to use. So we're using things like microcontrollers to control things like LEDs to send off a warning light if our camera detects something out of the ordinary. So there's a lot of taking physical changes in the environment, right? So vibration, heat, or a change in objects in front of a camera that gets interpreted by our machine learning model, and then that sends a signal to set off an LED, an alarm, a motor. So it goes from like, hey, this is wrong. The computer looks at it and says, yeah, this is wrong, and then shows the person, hey, this is wrong. That whole progression of things is using like industrial level infrastructure software-wise. So we're using the same software that a lot of major companies would use if they were to implement this. So that's really the big selling point for this trade show model. It's like, hey, yes, you could do this on a basic computer, but this is what we would use if we were to sell this to you. We presented the project to some executives at the companies that we're sponsoring, and we're very pleased with what they saw. And they told us that there's a chance we might be able to go to this expo in Germany, the world's largest expos, I believe, 65,000 people usually in attendance, so it's over the course of 4 days. And my client emailed me and said, this is going to happen. We actually get to send our project to Germany, which is great. We had that in mind in the beginning, that this is something they want to use, they might be able to use, they talked about possibly having us patent things that we've designed, and with going in with the idea that this is a legitimate thing that they want to show the world, that hey, this technology might be useful in this industry, and get the world excited about it. So it's really great to actually see it be able to make it somewhere like this. And I didn't know how big of an impact this expo had until I told my roommate. It turns out my roommate's dad will also be in attendance at that expo. So it's a really big deal. I'm really excited that my team has worked unbelievably hard. I've asked them up so much, and it's so great to see something actually come out of it.